earth. Time for business news now. Stephen's on set with us. Paris Motor Show opens to the press today, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Of course, the biggest event of the year in the automotive industry. Some 71 car makers will be showing off their brands first to the press today and from this weekend to the public as well. Now, it's a very different atmosphere from the last motor show in Paris 2 years ago when car sales were plummeting and a number of car makers were facing difficult decisions about their future. Things now are turning around. Car sales rising again. The future's looking a lot brighter. For more on this, we can go now to the motor show and speak to Xavier Peugeot, who is the product director at the car maker that bears his name, Peugeot. Xavier Peugeot, thank you for joining us on France 24. Particularly good time for you. Your sales were up 17% in September here in France. How has the situation changed for your company in those past 2 years?
As you know, the Peugeot company had to face a very strong crisis some years and months ago, and progressively we are recovering. There are some key figures just demonstrating this new trend. Our level of sales has increased twice as fast as the market for the first 9 months of the year in Europe, and we are growing 3 times faster than the market in China. This is due to a brand new range, which is younger than ever, 3 years old on average, and lots of new product launches, which we are also revealing during this Paris Motor Show.
And are those changes in where you're selling cars changing where you're making cars as well? Is that having an impact on your business?
Yes, we are just working on the plan, which was introduced by Carlos Tavares, the new PSA CEO. The plan is back in the race, and we have to focus now on a smaller range of products, but more international products. And progressively, with this strategy, which is now in place, we are recovering, as I told you, with figures in the right direction.
Tell us about the sort of models that you're showing off at the motor show there in Paris. You're looking at the upmarket end of the market this time around.
Yes, clearly the Peugeot brand has got 2 pillars in its strategy. One is to become a more upmarket brand, and the other pillar is to become a more international brand. So we've never presented so many models in the last 2 and 3 years, and we are just continuing and reinforcing this trend. During the Paris Motor Show, we are revealing the new 508, which is, as you know, the top of the range Peugeot offer, with a brand new front face, new engines and new equipments. We are also revealing some sporty versions of the new 308, which is, as you know, the car of the year, with sporty version, 205 horsepower petrol and 180 horsepower diesel. We are also revealing 2 key concept cars. One is named Exalt, the other one Quartz, which are just announcing some key elements of a bright future for Peugeot.
Okay, Xavier Peugeot joining us from the Paris Motor Show. Thank you for your time this morning.
Yeah, nice to see the car being buffed up, make it nice and clean in the background as well. Take us through what's happening on the markets then, Stephen.
Well, Hong Kong and Shanghai closed again in Asia today because of the Chinese national holiday, but it's a pretty dismal picture on the Asian markets. Apart from that, the Nikkei in Japan closing by down more than 2%, 2.6% in fact, at the close. That's following the falls that we saw on Wall Street overnight. The markets have been spooked by weak data on the manufacturing sector in many economies around the world, as well as that first case of Ebola in the United States hitting Wall Street in trading on Wednesday. Investors also looking ahead to the central bank meeting later.
And finally, a slip of the finger that could have been very, 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 very costly.
Yeah, this is what's known as the fat finger trade. It's not an expression you hear that often, but it happened on the Japanese markets on Wednesday when an anonymous broker pressed the wrong button and accidentally entered a trade that was worth more than $600 billion. That's more than what the value of the Swedish economy is, to put it in context for you. It concerns 42 different stocks across the Japanese market, including the likes of Toyota and Honda. The report of the trade was cancelled immediately, so there was no effect on the markets overall, but a pretty embarrassing button push.
It is a bit of a
Wrong.
typo and a half, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's much worse than the ones that we make here.
Exactly, we never make any here, no. Stephen, thanks a lot. Stephen Carroll there. And of course, a lot more coverage of the motor show over the next few days here on France 24. Up for you next. Latest news coming out of Hong Kong, of course. Plus, casual, charming and energetic. Not Stephen, but some of the words used by fans for Italy's Prime Minister, Matteo Renzi, the youngest ever in Italy. But can he live up to his promises? It's in the next half hour.
Our global effort is making strides, and with third quarter projections, we'll
Blah, blah, blah. I just want to check into my hotel.
on page 104.
I hope I get a king-size bed. I hope I can get a drink.
Get a massage.
Watch a funny movie.
Or go for a swim.
Snacks.
Scented candles.
Zombie movie. Minibar.
Chart.
Don't just hope. Know what you're really booking when you book. AccorHotels.com.